From his music to his movies to the way he scandalously swayed those hips, Elvis was captivating audiences, but mainly women. It's really no surprise that over the course of the singer's unfortunately short career, Elvis dated a lot of women, including some extremely famous faces. One might even call him the George Clooney of the 1950s and 1960s. Decades after Elvis was discovered dead in his bathroom at Graceland at just 42 years old, we're taking a look back at his love life. The King's romances were a huge part of his life and identity, so away we go. A version of this story originally appeared in August 2017. Our mission at She Knows is to empower and inspire women. 1. Priscilla Presley. How could anyone forget that Priscilla Presley, née Beaulieu, was once married to the jailhouse rock singer? At just 21, Priscilla tied the knot with Elvis, who was 32 at the time. Their wedding took place on May 1, 1967, and they divorced in 1973. They also had one daughter, Lisa Marie Presley. Before they made things official by saying, "I do," they dated for about 8 years. When they first met, while Elvis was in the Army, Priscilla was only 14. In December 2014, Priscilla, she was 72, opened up to the Daily Mirror about her former husband and said, "I just thought how he was the real deal. Elvis wasn't putting on any pretense. He never did. What you saw with him is what you got." Not everyone knows that. People know his music, but they don't necessarily know the real Elvis. I want the world to know he was a lovely, loyal man. 2. Cybill Shepherd. Did you know the Cybill star and Elvis dated? During a May 2016 appearance on Sway in the Morning, Cybill Shepherd talked going on a date with the singer and what the sex was like. Shepherd said she received a phone call from someone saying Elvis wanted to go out with her, and she told the person to have Elvis call him herself. He did, and they went out on a date, which then turned into a relationship issue for her. As Shepherd told Larry King in 2000, but that, even though I didn't know then at the time, it could never have worked with Elvis and I because I saw the drug use in Las Vegas. 3. Linda Thompson. Linda Thompson, Brody Jenner's mom and Caitlyn Jenner's former spouse, began dating Elvis in 1972 when she was 22. While chatting with Entertainment Tonight in August 2016, Thompson said, "I was still a virgin when I met him." She added, "I think that is what added to the allure of me for him, because he was a very territorial man, and a very jealous man. It really made him feel wonderful that I was a virgin." Yes, Thompson lost her virginity to Elvis. Thompson also said that Elvis wasn't one to stay faithful. Elvis was not monogamous, she noted. As we say in the South, bless his heart, he just wasn't monogamous. He had a tremendous capacity to love, and he loved women and women loved him. I was happy to share him with his legions of fans and even understood sharing him occasionally to infidelity, but it didn't make it any easier. They dated for over 4 years and broke up in 1976, 8 months before he died.
4. Ann-Margret.
The Viva Las Vegas co-stars were known for their affair while Elvis was engaged to Priscilla. According to a so-called friend of the singer, Ann-Margret was really the love of his life, the Daily Beast reports. In Ann-Margret's 1994 memoir Ann-Margret, My Story, she talks about her relationship with Elvis. "It was a very strong relationship, very intense," she wrote. "We both felt a current, an electricity that went straight through us," she writes in her memoir, via the New York Times. "It would become a force we couldn't control." As for their sex life and the fact that the singer-slash-actor once bought her a round pink bed for her Beverly Hills apartment, as reported by the New York Times, Ann-Margret, now 76, has remained mum by choosing not to discuss how intimate the two had been. After Elvis decided to stay with Priscilla, he and Ann-Margret ended their relationship in 1964, despite that his wish was that we could stay together, and that they even talked about getting married. Apparently, Elvis thought Ann-Margret had talked to British tabloids about their relationship and their marriage conversations, which led him to break it off with her. The Bye Bye Birdie actress implies in her book that their relationship was destined to end due to his commitments, which seems to suggest his relationship with Priscilla. 5. Natalie Wood. Natalie Wood and Elvis dated, but the attraction between the two allegedly didn't last. According to a March 2010 Daily Mail article, the Rebel Without a Cause actress went out on a date with Elvis in 1956 after he invited her to the set of his movie Love Me Tender. At the time, He was 21 and she was 18. However, she was reportedly disappointed with his lack of physical intimacy. She once allegedly stormed out of his bedroom during a party and reportedly declared, "What's the matter with your boss? He's all hands and no action. I thought he was supposed to be king of the sack, but he doesn't want to do it with me." Per the Daily Beast, this didn't stop the West Side Story actress from going out on further dates with the king, and she allegedly once said, "It was like having the date that I never had in high school. I thought it was really wild." 6. Peggy Lipton. Yes, Rashida Jones' mom had a thing with Elvis. They had a brief 1971 relationship, which Peggy Lipton discusses in her 2005 autobiography, Breathing Out, via the Daily Beast. Lipton said something similar to what Wood reportedly also said. The two didn't have much of a sex life. "He kissed like a god, but that was about it," Lipton writes. "He didn't feel like a man next to me, more like a boy who'd never matured." Lipton even writes that due to his drug use, Elvis was virtually impotent, at least during their relationship. 7. Connie Stevens. Similar to how other women wound up on dates with the Speedway actor, Connie Stevens once received a phone call from Elvis. After seeing her on Hawaiian Eye, he just had to meet her, according to the Daily Beast. In a 2010 book by Alana Nash about Elvis's love life, titled Baby, Let's Play House, Stevens says about their romance, "I knew this was a fellow who could break your heart." She adds, "He was just so beautiful." Apparently, they dated, but not seriously, for about 2 years. In the book, Stevens says Elvis is one of the loves of my life, but their romance didn't last. As reported by the Daily Beast. 8. Gail Greene. For those unaware, Gail Greene is a famed and respected American restaurant critic. As told in her 2006 memoir, via New York Magazine, Insatiable, Tales from a Life of Delicious Interview with the singer, Greene was invited to Elvis's press conference, she explains in her book. Eventually, she ended up at the Blue Hawaii Actors Hotel room with a bunch of other people. According to Greene, when Elvis showed up at the room, he grabbed her hand and took her to the bedroom. Silently, he took my hand, yes, still gloved, and led me to a bedroom, she writes. "I was thinking, oh my God, this is Elvis. I am going to do it with Elvis. I am not going to be coy. I will not make him talk me into it." He didn't ask. I didn't answer. He closed the door, dropped his pants, and lay on the bed, very pale, soft, young, watching me take off my clothes and, yes, at last, my little white gloves. Greene, now 83, says she doesn't remember any details about the sex, but that it was certainly good enough. Apparently, after the sex was over, he said to her, "I need to sleep now." Oh, she says Elvis also asked her to call room service and order him a fried egg sandwich. To that, she writes, "The fried egg sandwich, that part one remember. At that moment, it might have been clear I was born to be a restaurant critic. I just didn't know it yet."
9. Rita Moreno.
Raise your hand if you had no idea Rita Moreno dated Elvis. Yeah, same here. In the West Side Story star's 2013 memoir, Rita Moreno, a memoir, via the Daily Mail, she divulged many details about her relationship with the girl-happy actor. She revealed that she sought out Elvis as a way to make Marlon Brando, who she had an 8-year affair with, jealous. "I knew no one could possibly make Marlon Brando more jealous," she wrote, via the New York Post. They went out on dates, but they never had sex, according to Moreno. "My dates nearly always concluded in a tender tussle on my living room floor, with Elvis's pelvis in that famous gyration straining against his taut trousers," she said in her book. "I could feel him thrust against my clothed body and expecting the next move, but it never came." According to Moreno, grinding was all Elvis wanted to do. Things eventually ended between the two and Moreno went back to Brando. 10. Tuesday Weld. Tuesday Weld and Elvis had a brief romance while filming Wild in the Country in 1961, but the actress had a reputation for being a free spirit and would not put up with any of the singer's shenanigans. Elvis and Tuesday hit it off immediately, but their affair lasted only a short while before it mellowed into a friendship. Elvis's road manager Joe Esposito wrote in his 1994 book, Good Rockin' Tonight, doyouremember.com. Tuesday was a free spirit. She would never have put up with Elvis, who liked to control his women. "You stay here, I'm going out tonight, or do this for me. I want it done right now, typified his attitude. Tuesday would never fall in with that program. Elvis realized Weld had a mind of her own because Tuesday had the nerve to talk back. According to biographer Alana Nash in her book, Baby, Let's Play House, Elvis Presley and the Women Who Loved Him, per doyouremember.com. Elvis quickly backed off the once-hot affair, making it a short-lived relationship in his dating history. Please subscribe, like, and hit the notification button for more videos.